From jalapeno infused ales to a massive library of pinball, this is Kalamazoo's ultimate community clubhouse. Today, we're inside One Well Brewing to see how they're redefining craft culture. Let's dive in. There we go. All right. Yeah. Thanks for taking the time. This is Andrew and Trevor I'm talking to, I believe.
Yes, sir. Andrew here. Trevor there.
Andrew, Trevor, nice to meet you. All right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me. I had a lot of questions about your brewery. It looks like you guys got a great thing going on. So, yeah, want to
Well,
learn
we're
a little bit
trying
more.
every day.
What's that?
I say we're trying every day.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, so just a little bit introduction. My name is Henry. I'm with Midwest Microbrew. It's like a craft beer directory website. So we just listed a bunch of the breweries around the Midwest, and the goal is just kind of provide like a place for, beer enthusiasts to find places that they can go to and learn a little bit more about them before actually stepping in the door. So
I dig it.
yeah, absolutely. And then, so just tell me a little bit about yourselves. I'd be interested in learning about what you guys do there.
You want me to go first? All right. I'm Andrew McLean from One Well. The Director of Marketing is the title, but lots of different hats depending on the day. Um, get to come up with fun ideas, try to figure out new events that are happening to get people through the doors. Trevor and I have a blast coming up with new beers. What are we bringing back? That's a lot of the fun is figuring out what comes new and what's back or rotational that's returning. Sometimes you have to break someone's heart, not bring it back for a year or two, but that's all part of it.
Hmm.
But one of my favorite things is I'm a numbers guy and just bringing in, looking at the numbers and not just deciding what my opinion is, but what are the people saying? What do they want to drink? What do they want to eat? What kind of events do they want? So just, definitely listen to the audience. And that's a lot of what I try to do each week is bring people what they want. What about you?
Yeah, Trevor Klimek, head brewer and production manager here at One Well. Been a part of the team for 9.5 of the 10.5 years, almost 11 now, and
Wow.
really just dig on craft beer and have been passionate toward it. We're able to supply the pub with a lot of new, unique small batch beers, as well as amp up production and distribution in the Michigan area and Ohio, and getting out around about. So
Yeah.
it's a really exciting time for One Well.
Yeah. So you're one of the OGs then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All the way. Awesome. All right. Well, that's great. Tell me the story about One Well Brewing. What kind of inspired you guys to start there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with that. The owner is a craft beer guy. He
Mhm.
likes to hang, and I met him when I was working at Bell's General Store selling homebrew supplies, and so I sold him a homebrew kit. I helped start a different brewery, and then he started his own brewery. The bug just got to him so deep that he started this awesome place in Kalamazoo, and I was coming back with my wife in town. We were getting ready to get married, and every time we ended up at One Well because the energy was just so great. The beer tasted fantastic. The food just continued to grow and give us new experiences. So I'm happy to be on the team for as long as I have to just watch everything blossom. Kalamazoo is definitely beer centric location with Bell's, being in the area and starting. So there's a lot of very passionate craft beer lovers that already know about beer and the experience that you can have and how it can really elevate your life. We're happy to be the cool niche spot to enjoy a time and a pint and some friends with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, you guys definitely sound like you're keeping it fresh. That's great.
That's
That's what it's
it.
all
That's
about.
what it's about. Yep.
Yeah. Like you said, you might have to break some people's hearts every once in a while switching things up, but
I mean, he's making enough good beers that we only have 20 taps. So
oh well.
yeah, I mean, I could probably fill up 40 with beers that I enjoy putting on. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely all about freshness, getting that rotation through. We're looking at numbers now as far as even batch sizes to make sure that there's not a beer that's on longer than we want it on because we want every time when you come in, something's new, whether it's, beer or food program. We've got a new dish every single week. We put together a program there. So it's achievable for the chefs to come up with new items or bring back an old favorite.
Yeah.
And, just not be stagnant.
Yeah, no, I
That's
appreciate that
it'd be
about a
boring for
place.
us. Our weeks are more fun when we get to do new and cool stuff that inspires
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I
The
appreciate that about a place is just being able to kind of come there and not be bored. Like if that's I mean that's one thing that would keep people coming back to your location specifically rather than, traveling around too much. That's awesome.
Yeah, in Kalamazoo, there's lots of options. Like
Mhm.
Trevor said, it's a very beer centric town.
Yeah.
Definitely a smart audience. So just keeping, top of mind and making sure it's a good experience every time from all of our awesome employees high-fiving you as you come in to,
Hmm.
the food being a very thought out thing and not just an afterthought. Even cider program, it's something that we've dug deep in the last couple of years and really wanted to make us, yeah, we're a brewery, but it doesn't mean we just have ciders. We want really damn good ciders because we get a lot of big groups in, and that's kind of where my brain always goes is I want to have something for everyone, from the food to the beer to the experience. We'll talk about kind of our arcade. That's a huge part of our business these days as well, as we get into this conversation. So there's always something cool going on.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
owner started with the idea of inclusivity and bringing the ideas, the all art and culture into a standard location. And our place kind of got started as if it was the owner Chris O'Neill's living room, and he just had some beers on tap, and he would have his friends come over on Wednesday nights and play board games. And he had, I don't know, a bunch of board games at his house. So he started the pub with 300 board games or something like that, and he had a few pinball games. So he just brought what he had at his house and put it in the pub, and his Wednesday night thing became an every night thing for people in Kalamazoo, and it's just grown and grown. And inclusivity, like I said, bringing all different types of people in, and it is a core foundation of what we do at One Well.
Gotcha. Wow, that sounds like a great time. You mentioned the pinball. Is that a common thing among a lot of breweries around in your area? I've spoken to a few and they've all mentioned pinball. It's
I truly believe that we were the pioneers
gotcha.
with doing this. When I got my job, I saw my boss as a beer guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man, I'm working for a beer person. He knows what's up. And then I figured out he's actually a pinball guy. He loves pinball so much, and it just continued to grow and to grow. We had the opportunity to expand our pub in basically the whole strip mall. And so
Mhm.
he all of a sudden he had all these pinball games. We're moving them back from the production facility to the pub every week to keep things fresh. And he says, "Man, maybe we just open up this whole side of this space again, and we can have everything." So I think we've got over 56 pinball games, air hockey, darts, pool, race car games, Dance Dance Revolution, everything you can think of to
Yeah.
just bring everybody in.
Wow. That sounds like a
So
great
but
time.
yeah, correct. There are a lot of people that have continued to add pinballs to to the pub locations.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, no, that sounds like a great place. I guess you've already kind of gotten into this, but how would you describe your brewery in one sentence to someone who's never been there? Just to kind of like summarize it.
We're all about the good vibes and high fives. It's kind of become our mantra, just
Yeah.
accidentally over time.
Choose your own adventure. When
Mhm.
you come into the pub, you can decide on what you want to do. And when you're with a group of 10 or 15 people, there might be some really hardcore craft beer lovers, and they want to go up and they want to get a flight. You might have some kids with you that want to go play some games, or toddlers with stuff at the table.
Yeah.
Grandma's going to want to get maybe a glass of wine, and maybe you have some people that have some dietary restrictions. So we
Hmm.
sell a lot of vegan and vegetarian options to just keep it include, bring everybody together and let everybody do it. But choose your own adventure, man. If you
Yeah.
want to have more food, if you want to get another beer, you do it, and live your best life inside the walls.
and
Awesome.
to capitalize on that, a lot of our pub is set up for that same kind of choose your own adventure feel because it was a strip mall and we had one spot. And then 2 years later, someone moved out and we moved in. We took over that next spot. 3 years later, another one moved out and Chris bought the entire strip mall. So it does give you an opportunity to have kind of three distinct spaces. We
Yeah.
call our original
Yeah.
spot our cozy cabin. It's not as much natural light, it's very wood. And it's where all the OGs from day one are used to hanging out. So they tend to gravitate towards there. They have their
Yeah.
usual spots around, a three-sided bar. The next spot over is kind of the forest when that became the new side. And we still call it the new side, about 9 years later, 8 years later, it's always the new side. Um,
Got a
the,
tree growing out of the middle of it, so
the,
it's the
Yeah.
forest. It's painted all super sweet.
the big
Wow.
showcase there was the tree table, which is an actual, big, huge cutout of a massive branch or whether
Yeah.
it was a trunk. But, it's just a very cool visual there. So that's the forest side. Then we've got the Pinball Palace. And that's probably as much space as the other two combined as far
Wow.
as, square footage, because it's just huge. Like Trevor said, 56 pinball machines, maybe 20 arcade machines. We've got 3 lanes of duck pin bowling. That's our newest one about a year ago, 9 dartboards. And the fun part is there's leagues for all of it. It's definitely a social gathering spot. So let's all compete. There's competitive and social versions of pretty much every league that we have. So if you're looking to there get better, I started off in the social league in darts about 4 years ago, and now up to the competitive. Just it's something to do, fun with friends on a Tuesday night, and you got to have hobbies these days.
And don't
Yeah.
forget about our patio, which we call the camp yard, campground outside. So yeah, there's lots of space for people to enjoy and pick their own adventure wherever they want to be.
Wow. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. I was trying to, that was actually gonna be my next line of questions because I know that you guys are definitely very big on atmosphere and you've created, great atmospheres at your place. But that was something like I haven't actually physically been to your place yet, but I was looking at pictures. I'm like, wow, this looks different from picture to picture. But that makes a lot of sense. That's awesome that you guys did that. Um, so which room would you say is like the most popular place to hang out at?
Time of day and depends on the people. I mean,
Yep,
our,
depends on
our
the people.
cabin opens quicker than the rest of them. They all open at the same time, but it
Yeah,
fills up fast because that's usually our mug club members, our regulars,
yeah,
and they're used to sitting in that space and they gravitate towards that. And then when families and big groups come, we kind of have them in a separate spot.
yeah.
The forest section is great for families because it's a lot of low tops.
Yeah.
And as we did a bit of a remodel or rethinking about 2 years ago now with our arcade. It's great. We have lots of families, and with families come a lot of little kids, and we love all of that. It's a huge part of our group. We also want have an opt-in space of, hey man, I don't want a kid running through my legs while I'm trying to play pinball. So we looked at a lot of them games that were more kid-centric and moved them to a separate space with the low top, so a family can sit down, have their kid right next to them. It was a tough space to, man, I got my table, I ordered
Yeah.
food to this table, and the kids are asking to go play, games in the other room. I don't know how to do two places at once. So it was a nice reorganization of the space to kind of let everyone, get more of that, exactly what they're looking for. I've got kids, Trevor's got kids. We understand that side of it and trying to make it easy on everybody, get inside their head a little bit better than we were doing before. So that one fills up real fast with either 501s with a couple of the big companies around here have their after work get-togethers here. So that's a separate space that they use pretty often. And then as the day goes on, that pinball palace gets busier and busier and busier. Where it's kind of where everyone ends their day at. You got some food, you got a couple beers, you take a beer to the space.
Yeah.
So it's just fun watching the migration of people because very rarely do they just sit in one spot and you know head out the same door that they came in. It's definitely moving through the space, which is what we like to see.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have a lot of regulars coming in there? You mentioned that like
Yeah, and
the original space is the
our
most
mud club
popular.
is about 2,100 people, and
Yeah.
that's not something until, I mean, literally 3 weeks ago that's been open all the time. It was only available Black
One
Friday.
day a year, you get a
One
mug
day a
club
year
member.
you could get a mud club, and it's up to 2,100. We rethought some of that, just trying to make logistically easier. And Black Friday is a tough day too, so very recently we've made it available every day. But yeah, I mean, 2,100 strong. I would say that's our regulars, the mud clubbers.
Wow.
We've got a strong neighborhood, Millwood, behind us that really propped us up at the start. A brewery was in this space right before us. They had a pretty ugly exit and kind of insulted the neighborhood a little bit on their way out. So I
Mhm.
think it was a great thing for Chris to be able to go through and, whether he meant to or not, stuck up for the neighborhood, and they were very happy to support and say, yeah, it's a great group of people. There's nothing to worry about over here. It's not the main drag, and that's kind of what we like is we become a destination spot. Because of that, we're able to have a full parking lot that's a block long because we're the
Wow.
entire strip mall. So it's nice. The Midwest doesn't always like to go downtown and park in those spots, and we're an easy spot to get in
Right
and
off
out
the
of.
highway,
Yep.
half a mile off the highway, not
Nice.
even quarter mile,
Yeah.
quarter mile.
So, and I mean, Kalamazoo locationally is directly between Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah.
We have 94 going. So we get a lot of traffic from either direction. Chicago comes in, Detroit comes in, doing a little West Michigan weekend. But we're a
Yeah.
convenient stop geographically as well. And hopefully when they get there, they like what we're doing.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. Chicago's a big beer culture too. So those people
Chicago's
probably
awesome beer
are
culture
big
for
fans.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you mentioned Mud Club. Could you tell me a little bit more about that and that program?
Yeah, so you get a ceramic mug, a numbered mug, and that's the big deal about the lifetime one is people like to walk around with their mug. It's colored ceramic. I've got a blue and brown one. Kind of reminds me of the ocean, the lake, and that's my mug. I'm number 606, and we see a lot of people who take pride in that. They walk up and they just say their number. And at this point, they come in and bartender's already grabbing it because they know exactly what it is. A little cliche, but we went for that cheers vibe from the start. We want to know exactly who we're talking to, know your background. We've seen families grow up, over the 11 years. So the other one is the annual Mug Club, and that's just easier path in. For a while, it was the only one you could get in every single day. And we saw nice growth through that. But it's the same benefits for either one. Really, the only difference is having that mug. And it's funny how big of a deal that can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also offer special beers, one-offs a few days early to the Mug Club members. And so Andrew types up an email to him on Monday saying, hey, man, we've been working on something cool in the brew house, and it's only available for you until Friday. And I just remember how cool that is for people to say, hey, man, I can get it because I'm a part of the club. And on Friday, then everyone can get it. They can tell their friends, hey, man, meet you back up there on Friday because you can't get this beer yet. You're on the inside.
Nice thing to lord over your friends.
Yeah, definitely make your friends all jealous and stuff.
Yep.
Act like, this was the best one I've ever had, and you can't have
it. Every time.
You wouldn't.
That's awesome. So for you guys, what's your busiest time? I know I spoke to you, Andrew, and you said you had a big event over the weekend, or you were very busy over the weekend.
Always events.
Yes.
We got a lot of events.
We are definitely passionate about, events inside our pub. And so we went to a beer fest on Saturday out in Detroit for the Brewers Guild, and that's always a blast. It's great vibes. It's one of the 4 Brewers Guild events, so they always feel different. The brewers are there. It's not just necessarily volunteers or whatever. So that was fun. But inside our pub, we had an event on Sunday, which was a tarot card reading. Kind of kicking off some Halloween themed stuff, and that was great. Super well attended. Had a blast. Monday night we had a murder mystery dinner. Second time we've done that, so that was a lot of fun to just that's the big thing that we look for, is just not having the same old. Our leagues we do have a trivia, obviously, but a pinball league, a darts league, a duck pin bowling league. We just try to think of something that's not everyone else is doing, so we can have our little niche, unique things. We've got our anniversary party coming up on Black Friday that we're going to have exclusive beers for. We have a New Year's Eve lock-in, so with that huge arcade space and the 80 to 100 machines total, everything's on free play. We close it down as a ticketed event. We're open from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. We do a ball drop and everything. So it's just, again, keeping it fresh, think of new ideas. What do people want to be doing? And that's when you lean on your Mug Club, you lean on the neighborhood around you and saying, we want to be your spot. What are you guys looking for? It's not always our ideas that are the best ideas.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome. You guys are really
sometimes putting surveys out. I know Andrew's put a few surveys out, and it's easy when you have that Mug Club member base, and you can just send out an email and saying, hey, what are you guys looking for? What kind of beer do you want next? We'll and just having that open relationship with the community helps out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really heard something like that before. That's awesome. I mean, it sure seems like you guys got a very active community. Absolutely.
It definitely is. We're lucky for it, and we work hard and working hard to keep them. And that's just that guest experience every single time.
Yeah.
Whether you've seen them in here twice that week, don't just assume it. Give them a high five and see how their week is going and kind of beers you drink, and getting those conversations. One of the big things we've done in the past, a little over a year now, is working through what's the brewer program?
Accountability.
No, the bartenders education program, where they got certified. Cicerone
program.
Yeah. Thank you. The Cicerone program that all our bartenders go through. So, some of them come in very passionate about beer. Some of them come in very passionate about hospitality and service. You're like, we want that person. We can teach them beer. And so that's been a great part it's just finding the right people and the right personalities. And if they don't know about beer already, let's get them into there. So all of them are Cicerone certified after, within 3 months. It's part of their onboarding. And it's not the easiest test. I've been in beer for 11 years now. And, I studied up a little bit before it because I knew, even just the certified one, you have to know your beer styles. And it's not just, one time looking through a book. You have to be pretty knowledgeable about a wide variety of beer styles. I mean, probably 10 of them get brewed regularly in the U.S., but we learn about all of them. And just so you can have that conversation, they know yeast and different malts. And I think that's been a huge part to, again, stay ahead. We are the biggest spot, busiest spot in Kalamazoo, but that's not because we're going to take it easy at any point and just be like, all right, cool, we did what we wanted to. The only way we stay here is if we continue to, improve ourselves and give the guest experience every single time. And for the, half the people that love beer and want to chat beer, we got you. For the half the people who want to chat pinball, we got you. Half the people who just want to get into that, food program, and man, you guys do all this vegan stuff, and we can do that too. So, the way we've grown is our staff and our awesome choices, and we want to continue to invest in that.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a great place. And getting back into how you guys are keeping it fresh, I guess I got some questions about those beers for Trevor.
Yeah.
So when you're brewing, what's your brewing philosophy? What kind of drives those decisions?
Man, I'm really a big believer in quality craft beer with no off flavors.
Hmm.
So, anybody can make beer. And then after making the beer, there's correct ways, that it should taste, and there are incorrect ways. So that's the first hurdle, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
We're really passionate about making quality, clean, drinkable beers.
Yeah.
On top of that, at One Well, we do a lot of unique stuff. Just doing another Pilsner is cool, but we like to add things up and be a little spicy, just show some personality. But when doing that, we don't want to overpower the beer. So it's a flavored, a beer that is flavored opposed to a beer that tastes like a beer that has a nuance or has something that really just elevates the drinking experience.
Hmm.
So, all the beers are great. They're all my children, so I love them
Yeah.
the same. But kind of just going through some of our core brands, Ripped Right, this is our hazy. This is my favorite beer. We use Citra and Mosaic hops. It's truly some of the best hops that brewers can get their hands on right now.
Hmm.
It's really not too bitter. Those hazies, you really don't want it to be too bitter. So there's a great mouthfeel, a great softness to it. And the drinkability is just killer. I find a lot of people that are into this style feel like this is one of the favorites that they've ever had. And that makes me super proud.
Yeah.
State of Beans, our butter pecan coffee blonde ale. So it's
Oh,
a
really?
easy, but once again, it's a easy drinking blonde ale. We
Yeah.
use our Kalamazoo coffee roaster right downtown, and we get their Soul of the South coffee, which is a butter pecan flavored coffee. It's really enjoyable, really drinkable. These are our two kind of most popular beers in distribution right now.
Okay.
Just taken off.
Yeah.
Wappy is our Citra IPA. Citra hops, nice and clean, standard drinkable. I think our first beer that really brought people to know about One Well is this one right here. It's our Jalapa. It's named after the capital city in Veracruz, Mexico, that originally started cultivating jalapenos.
Oh, really?
So the variety of jalapeno that we use was cultivated with zero capsaicin to allow the flavor to come through, but with zero heat. So it's not going to burn your esophagus.
Gotcha.
It's just the flavor, no heat. And it's such a unique beer that it kind of has this like cult following in the Kalamazoo area, and it's kind of expanding. You can drink it by itself with some tacos on a Tuesday and crush them. You can put a little jalapeno slice in it to add a little buzz on your lip. Or my favorite way is to have it like a bloody jalapa. You put a shot of Bloody Mary mix on there on a Sunday morning and put a pickle and an olive, and it mitigates the accidental shakings with the vodka pouring your drink too strong on a Sunday and taking a nap.
Yeah. Oh, that's super unique. I like that one.
Yeah, no, it is cool. This is the one when people come to me or come to the pub first and they want to try something different. I say,
Yeah.
well, man, I really think that might be one of the most different, most unique beers that we have in our core lineup. And then our last one is a lime goza. So it's crushable, 4.5%. Really, really nice. We use fresh limes. One thing that we do at One Well is focus on using quality, real ingredients as much as we can. So we take 600 limes, we juice them ourselves before putting it into a 15-barrel batch. And it's just super awesome. Table salt, lime, and a Goza style beer.
Huh.
So really good stuff. And when that person comes in and says, hey man, I'm a light beer drinker, I just need to start out with something. We have our first beer is called Opener. That's our standard, this is our opening beer. It's an American blonde ale with Cascade hops. We can educate the people, hey man, these Cascade hops are kind of the standards. This is just an easy drinkable beer. If you're a light beer drinker, you're going to enjoy this and you're going to come back up for something a little bit different. And yeah, we do use Michigan hops
Oh yeah.
with that, with some of these brands. So
Yeah.
happy to be supporting such a cool, unique variety of beers. And like I said, this is just 5 of the probably 50 that we do a year. And do really cool, unique stuff. And I'm super passionate about it and just honored to be still doing it.
Yeah. Well, those beers all sound like they all sound great. That's awesome. Is
I can see your mouth watering from here,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I wish I could drink one over the
We'll get
over
a
the
little
live
care
stream here,
package
right?
sent your way, but you're gonna have to come this way and see the real experience.
Yeah, definitely. No, I do mean to get out there at some point. That sounds great. Um, so you mentioned that you rotate through beers pretty fast. So is this so this being your more core lineup, do these ones stick around longer or is this
Yeah, no, that's a great question. When I came aboard, and I've been here almost 3 years now, there wasn't a director of marketing position. I knew I had a passion for it. I knew I had certain talents, and from there, I was going to figure it out. Very welcoming group to come in and say, "Hey, let's just have some fun and see where we can improve what we're doing." Because we're still a small business. 11 years in, everyone knows everyone.
Mhm.
So it was a lot of fun looking up the beer board and trying to pare down actually how many mainstays we had. We had about 12 mainstays out of 20 taps. And they were all good. And that becomes tough because same as he kind of said, they're all his babies.
Yeah.
One of them, every single beer is someone's baby at the
Favorite beer,
too.
someone's favorite.
And so, I mean, I ran the numbers, saw what the slowest of those 12 are, what are the slowest times of the year for those beers, and tried to pull them back just so we can give Trevor more of a playground to play on new styles. Or, man, I haven't been able to brew this beer in 3 years. And I believe in it. Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
And so Trevor and I think about categories, like people's palates. So ambers have become a huge part of kind of what we're doing. We always have a rotational amber because I'm a strong believer in the style.
Mhm.
It's great for new people to craft beer. Nobody's going to sit and say, "Oh, I don't like this amber." It's just a
Yeah.
nice malt sweetness with a little bit of a balanced bitterness on the back end that's not even perceivable. But if it wasn't there, it would be too sweet.
Yeah.
And craft beer people understand an amber is kind of, if he can make a good amber, man, that balance, that's just repeat drinkability. You can have 2, 3 when I'm playing darts, no
Yeah.
problem, because it's such a nice, repeatable style. So it's looking into some things like that and paring back some of the beers that we're always on, so we could be the spot that has something new. We would love to have one every single week. That's pretty aggressive, but I would say 3 times a month there's a new one coming out. So it's pretty close, and that's a lot of it because Trevor and I work in kind of lockstep with how big should that batch be? Oh, you think it's going to move this fast? And now we have 2.5 years, 3 years of historical numbers to go back and say, hey, it went this fast last time. We're a little bit busier now. Let's do this or that. And same with how much we can of each product, because ideally you want your last keg running out the same time as your last can, so you're not sitting. You don't want to tease someone with one on draft and say, oh, you can't take that home. Obviously, we do growler fills and stuff, but it's fun to can up as many varieties as we are able to. So, I mean, people can have that beer fridge with 4, 5, 6, 7 different One Well styles. And we see it a lot. Photos come into their beer fridge and they just stock themselves up because they came in from Chicago and they're coming back to share with the neighborhood friends kind of thing. So that was a thoughtful effort by us as well to make sure that it is a new experience, which does mean breaking someone's heart sometime and, pulling off that brown ale that was on all year, to now,
Yeah.
I'll bring
Their
it back
baby.
in the fall, I promise, but we're going to get some different styles coming through.
Mhm.
I think our objective on some of these quick rotationals is to have them on 3 weeks or a month,
Yeah.
maybe 3 to 5 weeks. We want people to come back. They might, come back a few times for that beer. Sometimes you get a beer that's really popular for the first 2 months, and then it kind of slows down. With those analytical numbers, we can hit this better. And as soon as someone gets tired of a new beer, we're popping them with something new. And it's fresh and it's unique and it's different than what they've ever had before.
Huh. Interesting. That sounds great. What would you say your most experimental beer is that you've created?
I have my answer.
I
I was going to say,
we
it's the one I always make fun of. I wasn't a part of it yet because it never would have been made, but I absolutely loved that it was made.
it was the first year I had just come on board to the One Well team. We were on a 3-barrel system in the kitchen. What is the kitchen now? The owner was brewing, Chris, and one of his best buddies, Tom Crookston. Love you, Tom. And at the end of the day, we're doing our work, we're cleaning up, we're squeegeeing and all that stuff. And well, the only food that One Well had that didn't have any food, the only food that was available were some Gardettos. So Chris would go up and get the jar of Gardettos, and we'd drink a beer, we're drinking our brown ale and eating Gardettos and drinking
Gardetto's
brown ale.
like
And
the
he
Chex
says,
Mix
hey,
type
you
of
know
thing?
what? What's that?
Gardetto's like the Chex
Yeah,
Mix type of
like the
snack.
yeah,
snack
yes,
mix.
sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Those are delicious.
Unfortunately, yes.
The dark rye salted chips with the, whatever. And I like Gardettos and I
You
like
do.
those, dark rye chips, dig them. And we're eating them and we're drinking and we're eating them and we're drinking them. And he's like, you know what? Let's make a Gardettos. And so we made a crackery Gardettos beer with a bunch of Munich malt and Victory malt. We added some soy sauce and some Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce. And it was a super hit at beer fests, like 4 or 5 ounces at a time.
Yeah, great beer for that.
But a 16-ounce pint was hard to get through.
Okay.
So, but it was something fun and it's a great story. People still, this is almost 10 years later, and people still are like, dude, where's your Gardettos beer?
And I will say they absolutely nailed the flavor. I never
Yeah.
wanted to drink a Gardettos, but they absolutely nailed the flavor. So again, yeah, great beer fest beer. When you get that much of it, people go around talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best pint after pint beer like an amber.
And that's the thing is that, we talk about drinkability, but it is a real thing. And, we also made it's called Unclear Future. It was pineapple, coconut, lactose, milkshake IPA with a bunch of Sabro hops in it. And it was just so unique and it was so awesome for some samples. But you need to have core beers that you push through a lot, and you need to know your batch sizes, like we were speaking, to get these cool, unique beers on, and then they go off, and people have those great memories of, man, remember when we were at One Well and we had that one thing, and
I would say
memories, man. It's all
two
about
more
memories.
real quick ones just because I enjoyed the
I
side
can
of
keep
it
going
too.
on this.
Yeah.
Jalapa, which you've already heard about, our no heat
That's it.
jalapeno ale,
That's
went into a hot sauce barrel, and
Yeah.
that was called Hell Lapa.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, anyone who complains of like, oh man, I wish this was spicy. All right, we got you.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. I mean, anyone who liked jalapa loved jalapa, and
Yeah.
I've never seen a beer go into a hot sauce barrel, mostly for good reasons. But that one made a lot of sense to do it. And you want to talk about the Chaga Stout?
Yeah,
Very cool beer.
man. I mean, different things. We just kind of rotate back through. But Chaga Stout, Chaga Mushroom has a bunch of unique health properties. And we made just an Irish dry stout with that. Added maybe added a hint of that flavor and just some mouth like texture, mouthfeel that was really approachable and enjoyable. And that's one that
That one was a very legitimately very good beer.
Yeah, yeah, great beer.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. The two that stick out to me, like the Jalape beer and then also the Gardettos beer. Gardettos are my favorite road trip snack. Like
Love it. That's what I'm
Gardettos
saying,
are
man.
great.
Yeah. No,
Do you
I mean
want
they
to
all sound great, but and then the Jalape beer, that's like one of the things I'm doing right now. I'm actually trying to train myself to work up to a Carolina Reaper. So
Oh.
I'm all about the spicy stuff. I'm a big spice kind of fan, so that sounds
Oh.
great.
Well, remember this standard jalapa has
Not
0.
spicy, right?
So you can always add the spice to it.
Right, right.
And most people get it with a slice or two of fresh cut jalapeno from behind the bar,
Yeah.
and then bloody jalapa too. But yeah, that one went into the hot sauce barrel was something.
Unique.
Yeah. Oh, those are all really cool. Yeah, those are
That
some
would
of
have
the
been
most
right up
unique.
your alley.
What's that?
I said that one would have been right up your alley. For some
Yeah. Those are some of the most unique like beer that I've ever heard of, but they all sound so great. So that's
Thank you.
good work there.
I mean, shoot, you want to keep going. One that we bring up every year is Susie Cream Trees. It's a lactose brown ale with roasted walnut coffee, maple walnut coffee, milk brown ale.
Huh.
And when we put it on nitro, it was just
It's
smooth as butter,
so
baby.
Huh. Really? So is that you mentioned another coffee like the pecan one earlier. Is it similar to that in taste or is it
Yeah, State of Beans a blonde ale.
okay.
And then Susie Cream Trees is a porter.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's
Yeah.
what's fun about State of Bean. It is, you you look at it, it looks the same as, our opener.
Hmm.
Our, very, hey, I'm a Bud Light drinker. What do you guys got? Oh, we'd love to pour you an opener and talk a little bit about craft beer.
Yeah.
So it looks the same, but man, that aroma it hits you right away like a coffee shop. It's got big time aroma, and then yeah, just the flavor of a dark beer. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
if you close your eyes and you're drinking it, drinking in the dark. I don't often drink in the dark, but I've had my night.
It happens.
And yeah, you would not know you're drinking a light beer, light in color beer, and that's what's fun about that one. Even our, one of our mainstays, a couple of our mainstays are just very odd beers by themselves. So it gives you
Mhm.
a little bit of idea of Trevor's brain.
Gotcha. All right.
It's a good
Um,
brain.
what's it? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah.
No, you're
Okay.
okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so kind of wrapping up the beer, is that what three beers would you recommend to someone who's never been there before? If they were had just three beers and just like a good experimental way to get
Three
into
beers.
one
When I
well.
read your question earlier, I was saying three things. Yeah. Earlier, when I read your question, I thought it was if they could try three things. They need to
Yeah.
try a drink, try some food, and try some games. That's what you
Okay.
do at One Well. But
Gotcha.
for sure, I would 100% say that the Jalapa is the beer to try to
Mhm.
sample. And then I kind of go with these two because they've shown strength in the market. It's not me just liking them or just our Mug Club members. It's
Mhm.
people all over that are just raving about these two beers, um, and I think they're just so great. I
Yeah.
just
Awesome. And then you mentioned food too. What do you guys do for food?
our head chef should be sitting here. Bit is just one of the most talented chefs in the area. I mean, he's won multiple awards in the Kalamazoo area. His training was from the right downtown. What we've done, what the company's done. I'm a meat eater, but what the company's done with vegan and vegetarian options,
Mhm.
the flavor and the texture has just grown tremendously the last 10 years and what they can get. We continue to try new things, and it's all awesome. I've fooled quite a few of my friends with the faux chicken sandwich, where they don't know they're eating a fake chicken sandwich, and oh no, dude, that's vegetarian, just because it's so top notch.
Yeah, our
Wow.
owner Chris is a vegetarian, and so everything that we do is thought of as a vegetarian dish first, which is
Okay.
great because you get to restaurants and the vegetarian options are hopefully grilled cheese, but everyone has that grilled cheese
Yeah.
or a salad or something. Where it's like, I mean, yeah, those are great if that's all it is, but that's
Mhm.
that's not much of a variety when you go out and about. So all of our dishes are thought of with vegetarian first. Like, can it hold up on its own with either just vegetables? We have some awesome plant-based proteins, but we
Mhm.
also use mushrooms.
Yeah.
We have cauliflower that we use in a bunch of we have a wrap right now that just came on that
Mhm.
is fully vegetarian, and you would not know it just because it's so hard and so full. It's uh, cauliflower and chickpeas, and it's just some chili lime crema in it, and it's great. And we smoke our own meats, and you can add all of that to pretty much any of our things, and we'll recommend which proteins go on it.
Yeah.
But I think that's an awesome way to go about it, having such a hearty dish at the start, and then do you want to add some of our smoked chicken or our pulled pork? We've got 7, 8 pizzas
Yeah,
on,
the
and that's a
pizzas are
rotating one
standard,
all the
easy.
time.
Nachos are, I think, are probably our most popular dish.
Hmm.
But it's also like he was saying, I'm a meat eater. Maybe I want it with the chicken, smoked chicken, or the smoked pork, or
Chorizo.
the chorizo. But then they also have the guys in the kitchen and the gals in the kitchen. They did seitan now, so the vegetarian beef. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's
And
really
it's all
cool.
about the
It's
texture of
great.
those too. You don't want it just to be something simple. You want it to be thought of as first and foremost because it's very easy to add some of our awesome smoked meats to pretty much anything.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's a cool way that unique about how we've gone about it. And Kalamazoo has responded.
Yeah.
There's people who are not vegetarians who come in and they
Yeah.
order and you don't necessarily even think that, oh yeah, I guess I did order all vegetarian meal
Yeah.
because it's all about the flavors.
Yeah. Well, that's the mark of a good vegetarian dish, right?
Yeah,
Being
The
absolutely,
able
man.
kitchen's
when the
got it
meat
going
eaters don't
on.
care.
Yep.
That's awesome. What would you describe as like being something special about like the Kalamazoo kind of craft beer scene?
Well, unfortunately, it's a little smaller like most places than it used to be.
Yeah.
We lost some really cool places. I think at our max inside city limits, we had 13 for our size, which was awesome. It felt like, yeah, you go downtown or you go into a neighborhood and you can walk around and hit three, four, five of them. So it's tight knit. It's the
Yeah.
ones who are here. We all get along, hit each other's spots, and that's including cities like Portage and Mattawan
Mhm.
close to here because we've kind of had to broaden the umbrella a little bit to get everyone in. It's an awesome beer destination
Yeah.
because there are, probably 15 now if you count the greater area, and we're all repping each other. You come in and say who's good around here. It's actually a tougher answer because you just want to talk about all of them a little bit. You're like,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you looking for? What kind of beer drink are you? Because they all have their own little niche. Closest one to us geographically and probably, kind of the overlapping clientele is Presidential Brewing.
Yeah, great place.
Straight down the road from us, probably 3 miles. They're into Portage, and they've got a fun presidential political theme, but they do it in a really lighthearted way. I mean, when I first heard about it, I was like, "That's risky,"
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it could
you
be.
don't you don't combine alcohol and politics. It's going to go, and they're just such fun personalities doing fun events, and their beer names are something presidential or something political, and it's
Good people doing it the right way for the right community.
Yeah.
Because we all care so much about the people. It shows.
and
It really does.
I mean, big up to Bells for setting it in motion so
Yeah.
long
Thank you,
ago.
Larry Bell.
We all have big love for Bells. They've sold, but it's our local friends still working there. I've got
Yeah.
plenty of friends working there, and I'll always rep them because they made Kalamazoo what it is. They were my first craft beer that I got into way back when, and there's still lots of people's. And we love that we've been able to kind of join them in Kalamazoo. As far as now, we're starting to be as known as Bells. Oh, Kalamazoo One Well, yeah, that's a cool
Yeah.
spot, and that's just a huge honor to us. And I'm sure what it means, this has to be crazy for Trevor with his. I mean, he's a Bells guy through and through. It's where he got his start selling homebrew equipment to Chris and many, many, many others along the
Yeah.
way.
Huh. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I love the smaller, tight-knit communities like that. That sounds great. Are you guys seeing any trends in craft beer? Maybe where you are, or just kind of on a broader scale, like trends in craft beer, and then
I
how are
think
you
the
guys
amber ale
responding?
thing that we've done the last few years, just continuing to make sure we have something middle
Yeah.
malt red is important. I really strongly believe that. We've also ticked up some seltzer stuff, and some cider stuff.
Fruited beer.
Yep, fruited beers, which I mean I've always loved. But
Yeah.
we did some slushies this year at our pub, which was sometimes just taking something that we have here in the production facility and rearranging it to appetize the whatever clientele's coming in.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean,
we see a little bit of that.
trends is tough because
Yeah.
in general craft beer is going down. So when you look at a trend, it's like, oh man, where are the good trends? And there's plenty of them out there,
Yeah.
and that is all about continuing the education process to guess. Because I read something super interesting recently that the ways craft beer is still winning is locality, locality, locality. It's localness
Yeah.
of ingredients of
Oh, yeah.
people. We're making it down the road. And that's something that still, we're going to be able to beat the big boys on it because we're doing it ourselves here,
Yeah.
and that's a way better story than I think they have a plant here and a plant there, and I think so. And it's push button kind of thing. Trevor's here working every day hard, and the rest of his crew doing that. So I think the trend it continues to be local wins, man. If you do it the
Yeah.
right way, local wins. At the same time, we are looking at expanding our NA program. We want to have a thoughtful NA program and not just throwing pops at people.
Yeah.
Come up with a mocktail program. Come up with, we're looking at a distiller's license for that side of it because, maybe people are moving towards liquor and cocktails and mixed drinks. And at the same time, they were moving towards mocktails. So it's, again, taking ego out of it, and we get excited about what people want to do. We want to be that spot that offers up what people want to do. We love beer. If it's beer, hell yeah, we can do
Yeah.
that. If it's not, we have a passion for making you happy, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. We have a passion for making people happy.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. So kind of just getting into like the future seasonal type stuff. Do you guys have any events coming up that people should be excited about? Like maybe new beers or
No,
events? I
I'm
know
too
there's
tired. We're
Yeah,
yeah,
he's, he's had like 7 events in the last 4 days. It's
yeah, yeah.
unreal.
Absolutely,
I
we
should have
did.
asked the interview question a
So
while ago.
we've got costume contests going on over the weekend. Green Sky Bluegrass is a huge band. They're local. They've hit it big. They're coming back home. We're excited to be, so close to the arena. Huge Green Sky fans here. Trevor's going to the show on Saturday. Most of the group is going on Saturday. We're actually going to have a fun little pre-party in this space here for fun. So that'll be a great weekend.
Yeah.
Big one, Black Friday anniversary party coming up. It'll be 11 years. The New Year's Eve lock-in coming up. We've got a bunch of Friday night pop-up vendors coming up. So like vintage clothing. We've got a pottery maker coming in. We've got a grown-up book fair. I used to call them adult book fair, but everyone keeps thinking it's adult books. I don't think it's adult books. I think it's books for grown-ups, for adults. We just had that tarot card reading, and it's just, yes, we are definitely your home for cool events, and this is a fun time of year because there's so many get-togethers around the holidays. It's my favorite time of year for that reason. It's just a great community spot to drop in with your group.
Yeah.
And when they get in there, some people, it'll be their only time there all year because, I'm not really a craft beer guy. I don't have young kids. I'm not trying to look for all that stuff. Cool. Yeah. Well, we're gonna wow you that one time you're in here, and maybe we'll get you twice next
year. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. You mentioned a bluegrass band. Was that who'd you say that was?
That was Green Sky Bluegrass. They're going to be about 3 miles away, a mile away from where we're sitting at Wings Event Center here in town, and that's one of Kalamazoo's. They have our heart for sure. So yeah, we do live music one time a year. I think next year we're going to do it twice at our block party that happens in early September. We work with a local awesome group called Sounds of the Zoo. I call them a group, but it's really one amazing woman named Jennifer Frenker. And she's doing a lot free live music for the community, a week long, and we're kind of the kickoff party. So that's been another huge relationship. Becoming kind of a community leader, one of the ones in Kalamazoo that people know. We have worked hard to make sure that we're doing our part to prop up everyone else, because we got propped up along the way. So, Water Street Coffee, Kalamazoo Coffee Company, Air Zoo down the way, Sounds of the Zoo. These are great, partnerships to have. And we invite them out to our events. They invite us out to theirs. And it's, that really Kalamazoo feel to make sure that everyone's kind of seeing, hey, we all get each other and support each other. And you should too.
Yeah. Huh,
so events, always.
Absolutely. What's your long-term vision for the brewery? Like, where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years going with this?
I want to hear the beer side. What do you?
I mean, we go with the punches. I think the most important thing to do is be flexible and to know that you have to be you have to be able to move around with whichever way things go. But we have looked more into the distiller's license. I definitely think we're going to go that way. It just makes sense. Like we said, the inclusivity thing. How can we get more people to know about One Well and to say, that didn't suck. That was a great time. I'd do that again. But yeah, of course, getting a stronger hold in production is great. We locked on with a new distributor about 6 months ago, M4, here in Michigan, and they've just done a great job in promoting our beer and just letting people know that real people are making this, that really truly care about what you're putting in your body. We care about your price point. We try to make sure that you can get a 4-pack of beer for a good price and not break your wallet. We want you to be able to bring your whole family in to our pub. So continuing to think about those little things and making sure that you're getting better every day, getting better every week. And then after the 5 years, you can look back and say, wow, we've done a lot of really great things. There's always opportunities for possibly other locations, but it's a poignant situation. It's all about timing. It's all about timing. We're really lucky. Kalamazoo has a kind of a new transformation in the downtown area these upcoming years with a theater space, arena. And so there's going to be a lot of different, shows downtown. And we just want to continue to do the right thing and give people what they want.
Yeah. And I think I'm same for sure. Just, responding to what people are looking for from, I don't know where the world's going to go and I don't know what people's tastes are going to be. Selfishly, I'm hoping, and I do believe truly, because I've been in beer long enough to see the downturns or the ups and the downs, and you just don't freak out anymore, especially if you're listening to the people and still provide a great experience to them. But I'm hoping with our new distributor M4, shout out, because they have been awesome, like night and day difference. Nothing wrong with the old distributor. It just felt more transactional. They're moving our beer. Cool. Absolutely. Great job,
Mhm.
guys. But it was, hey, we got a new beer coming out. We want to hit in spring. They wanted to, kind of that turn and burn. And I totally respect it from logistics side. Having done logistics in my past, man, new is tougher than same old for sure.
Mhm.
And having a partner on that end who's like, oh yeah, dude, let's get it out there. Let's talk about it. Hey, we got this bar over here. They'd like to do events. Would you guys be interested in that? We're like, yeah, man, that's what we do. We want to get in front of people and talk about what we're passionate about. I'm hoping that we're able to continue to expand our rotational and seasonal program because we're doing it in the pub already. Having an awesome artist. I am not an artist in any way. I wish I was. I really wish I was because it's a really cool skill to have. I'm not. So yeah, finding and that's one thing in the past that's held us back, and we're in a good spot to be able to find talented hands to draw some really cool artwork for us and get new beers out there. Because if we're already making them for the pub, let's try to get it out to stores and expand that. It's not just the same old same old. I fell in love with craft beer back in 2006, 2007 because that was the name of the game back then. Shorts was had something out every single week. Did I love all of them? Nope, maybe half of them, but I collected them and I loved to hear the story about it and the
Yeah.
creativity of it. And I feel like we're definitely in the right spot with our partnerships, with our history, that we're able to start to do some of that, and not one every single week, but let's do something every month to 6 weeks, new in the market, and really show off what it is we do in our pub. Because I don't know if people in Detroit really know how often we have new stuff coming on in our
Mhm.
pub.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good way to answer the question. What's the best way for people to stay connected with what you guys are doing?
Social media, as always, it's the name of
Okay.
the game these days. But our newsletter. So we do a Monday one for our Mug Club members and a
Uh-huh.
Friday one for general public. I write those and I write them brand new every time. It's not just send it out, same thing that's been in the same thing for 8 weeks. It's something that I take seriously because it's my chance to talk to people who ask
Yeah.
me to talk to them. It's an opt-in experience, obviously. So you can unsubscribe at any time. We just don't see many of those because it's a real person talking to you about, hey, this is what we got going on. This is the new stuff, and just making sure you're aware of it. And these are the new partnerships we're working on.
Here's the food special for the
Yeah.
week. You know what I'm saying? Here's the new beer that just came on tap. Here's the
So
events that are coming up. Cool, we'll leave you alone, man. And
yeah,
it's nothing, it's not too much. I think people can get that information quickly and decide, hey, you know what, man? That cauliflower chickpea wrap sounded good. Maybe we'll go to One Well tonight for dinner.
yep.
Yeah.
And obviously, just I mean, come in and visit. Our bartenders know it all, and they want to talk about it as well. So we try to have good signage in there, not hit you over the top with any of it. But we have enough stuff going on that it's the toughest part for me is how do I talk about all of it every single week?
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing to be able to do, but we have enough fun stuff that like I haven't talked about our food special yet this week on social media because we've been so busy with other stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, easiest way, come to the pub and check it out.
Awesome. All right. And then any final thoughts or messages for someone considering a visit? Any questions I should have asked and maybe missed?
Any closing notes you want to make sure we hit on?
I guess the biggest thing is that we're like right off the highway. We're like
Yeah.
right off of 94. I find myself when I'm traveling somewhere, I look into some breweries and I say, man, that's a little bit, I got my family, I got stuff, but really this could just be like a potty stop. You know what I mean? And I go
Mhm.
in and get a quick beer, take a 15-minute break. You're on the highway, you're off the highway if you're passing through. And I think a lot of people that might be watching this section might be passing through. So just know how easy it is to get to. It's right off the highway. You're going to have a killer time. You're going to meet great people. You're not going to be disappointed
Mhm.
at all with anything that goes in your mouth, drinking wise or food wise. The service is fantastic, and there's no reason that you shouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm excited for craft beer because we are in that little downturn and it's such an opportunity to the people who are excited about it still when it's a little bit lower will be the ones who come out of it the best because we're not stopping just because, oh, I don't know, 3% less people drink craft beer this year. I don't care. We're still making awesome stuff and we'll get 3% into it next year instead then.
Yeah.
And that's just our goal is to continue doing what we do. Yeah, definitely look for other ways to do it, but just because we started a new thing, we're not stopping the old.
Yeah.
We're just working
Hang
harder,
on.
just working harder every week if we can.
Yeah. Great. Well, Andrew and Trevor, thank you so much for taking the time. I've had a blast talking to you two. Sounds like you guys
I
got a great
appreciate the
operation
time.
going on. next time I'm in Kalamazoo, I'm definitely stopping by.
And keep
But
doing what you're doing. Spreading the love of craft beer, man. It's important for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to get that downturn going back up, right?
There you
Yes,
go.
sir.
Yep. And we will too.
Yeah, oh,
We'll still
definitely.
be here. Beer's been drank for centuries and centuries. It's not going anywhere.
Definitely not. But thank you so much, you guys. You guys have a good rest of your day. Good luck with, I know you got more events coming up, so hopefully you
I
don't
need
get
a
too
nap,
bored.
but yes, we'll do more events. All
Yeah.
right, be good. Thank you for the
Yep.
time.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for today. Be sure to check out some of our other exclusive interviews with the people from the best breweries in the Midwest. Bye now.